What's up, y'all? We are in Minnesota to visit the Mall of America.
This is the most spinning I think I've ever seen you do.
In the Minneapolis area. We're staying at the Southwest KOA. It's about 26 miles from the Mall of America. It's a delightful park, a lot of trees and shade, if you like that sort of thing. It's an older park it's really quaint and beautiful. I shouldn't say quaint. It's not a small park. It feels small because it's kind of packed in tight, probably because there's so many trees. But there's a lot of tent camping sites here. There's sites for 30 amp RV hookups, plenty of full hookups. We got a pull through right by the office. But like I said, we're here to visit the Mall of America. So we had left Sioux Falls and we were headed for Wisconsin. That had been planned out months ago, but when our girls found out we were gonna pass really close to the Mall of America, which they'd never been to, they really wanted to go. So I figured we probably could stop for 2 days in the Minneapolis area. It was a little tough to find an RV spot where I could reserve what I needed close to the Mall of America, but at the same time, I'm not really hip to the idea of staying inside of a big city that could bring possibilities of more crime. I don't want to come back home from a trip and find our bicycles stolen. It's hard for me to say that because it's hard to say. I just don't know. I could wind up at a very nice park, or I could wind up with something unknown when I go into an area. So I usually trust a more rural area because my odds are a little bit better. Is that the best way to say it? So this KOA, like I said, it's an older KOA, but it's pretty well taken care of. The staff here are really friendly, very nice. They were very willing to help me get into my site, even though I didn't do the best job at getting into my site. But since I was only 2 nights, I just kind of left it a little odd, how I parked it. The bathhouse is really unique. When I checked in, the lady at the front desk said there's 2 men's rooms and 2 women's rooms, and I just assumed they were individual locking bathrooms. They were far more grand than that. 2 completely separate bathrooms where you walk in. The men's had 4 toilets and 3 showers times 2. 2 completely different bathrooms like that. So they can shut down one and close it and clean it, and they have another one ready to go. That's a lot of showers. I was really impressed by that. Now they were having some maintenance issues with one of the men's showers, and they opened it for the 2nd day, but I regretted going in there because while the pressure was amazing, the water wasn't nearly hot enough. It was a well air-conditioned room and the water was just barely warm, and I was a little bit miserable. They do have an indoor pool here. It's quite a big pool. It goes from 3 feet to 9 feet deep, and it's a good sized pool. It's not A lot of these newer hotels have like a smaller pool just for the sake of having an indoor pool. This one's pretty good size. We didn't have the time to go swimming here. There was somebody else that was in there that was swimming, and they said that the water was heated. And apparently it's open year round, even in the wintertime. That's a bonus if you're in this area. So I felt like the layout on the campsite was a little awkward. The sewer hookup was like all the way at the back, and then the electric hookup was kind of, in my opinion, too far forward. So that got me a little messed up in the head when I was pulling in, and I feel like I made a bad decision about where I left the trailer. But like I said, we were only here for 2 days, so I left it. This KOA has 2 playgrounds. There is a dog park. They've got cabins. There's 2 cabins that actually have bathrooms inside, which is not normal for KOA. They have the other typical log cabins that don't have bathrooms in them. There's a lot of tent camping sites here. I was surprised by how many, and they're being used. But the weather here is nice. It's late July, and we're waking up in the morning and it's like 60 degrees and in the shade. I'm having to chill right now. This is nice. The park store has a decent amount of supplies. They've got some important things if you are missing something for your RV. They've got some drinks, some frozen pizzas, ice cream. There's miniature golf here to play, which you can pay for, and then there's also these little bike trike things you can rent and ride around. Those are pretty cool.
Riding the horse.
So we spent 2 nights here primarily to go to the Mall of America, and we had a blast. We went both days. I had to work one of those days, so as soon as we got done with work, then we headed over there. Unfortunately, the malls don't stay open quite as late as they used to, I guess. I don't know, I have to think that one through. Well, it was 9 o'clock, it closed on Saturday, 7 o'clock on Sunday. I guess that's kind of normal. But we had a blast at the Mall of America. It's such a big mall, we didn't even cover it all. We never touched the 2nd floor at all. We hardly even covered the 1st floor of the mall, except with the exception of the amusement park. We did walk the whole 3rd floor, and that, we were wore out from that. I would definitely say the restaurants in the Mall of America were affected by some of the labor issues that are going on right now, where there's just not enough workers to go around for all the restaurants. They were doing the best they could, and the food was still pretty good. We ate at Buffalo Wild Wings upstairs on the 3rd floor. We walked around, we checked out the Mirror Maze, looked at there's an indoor go-kart place that uses electric go-karts. Walked around in there. They had axe throwing, they had go-karts, they had pinball machines. It was a pretty cool atmosphere. It was fun to walk around in there. I love all the lights. If you've never been to the Mall of America, there is a massive indoor amusement park, which is open year-round because it's indoors. So if there's ice and snow everywhere outside, you can go in there and have a blast. It's been there for 30 years. They've changed out some of the rides, but they still have the original log chute, which if you ride that, you get to see Paul Bunyan and his big blue ox babe. They've got several roller coasters in there and a lot of rides. Rides that were great for all of us. Everybody in the family had fun. I think one of the biggest hits probably for our family was something called, was it Aerial America? It's the ride where you're sitting in the chair and then your chair moves forward into the movie screen and they make it look like you're flying over America, showing various different parts of the country. It was a very entertaining ride. The seats kind of moved. When they go through the clouds, they kind of mist you, make you feel like you're actually going through the clouds. It was a lot of fun. The whole family had a blast there. There was a lot more stuff we'd like to do. Kira really wanted to do the Crayola experience. We just didn't have time to do that. There's also a Lego store. It's so popular, they've had to limit the amount of people that go in the store. So there's like a line just to get into the Lego store. But once you go in there, you can do stuff like make your own characters. They even have little white Lego figures and you can customize them on a computer and then they will print on there how you customized it. That's awesome. All right, y'all, that's gonna do it for us here in the Minneapolis area. We are headed for Wisconsin, where we will be next week, and we're gonna actually be there for a month. Got this cool campground where it's a barn. It's a farm they've turned into an RV park, and they've got animals walking around and a playground. I think the kids are really gonna enjoy being there. Hopefully they enjoy that for a month. It's gonna be a blast. We'll check it out. I wanna remind you that life happens. Keep on living it.